what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, sole Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we serve, and Thee alone seek for Thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom Thou bestowest Thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard Thy teachings. Say He, Allah is one God. Allah is He of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is He begotten, there is none like Him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu Alaikum. But first, we'd like to regretfully announce the passing of Brother Captain Yusuf Shabazz. Brother Captain Yusuf Shabazz passed away last week. He was a follower of the Messenger, and he died a believer. Yes. And that's what more could we ask for, and we'll have more of his funeral arrangements on the Muhammad Speaks website when they become available. So, Brother Captain Hakeem from Virginia sends the greetings. Minister Jabran Rashad sends the greetings from Chicago. And Brother Mutakabir Ali from New Jersey. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum. Today we'd like to talk about Ramadan and the false worship of Jesus, because next week begins our month of Ramadan. Because our month is not the same as the Orthodox Muslims. Because Ramadan is actually a month. So we call December Ramadan, those of us who are followers of the Messenger. Right. And this came out in a Muhammad Speaks newspaper, December 3rd, 1965. It says, why and how we fast in December. The Messenger says, it says, what Allah in the person of Master Farah Muhammad has revealed to me. He says, I have chosen for quite a few years the month of December for my followers to fast as in the month of Ramadan. It serves as a sign that we, the lost and found nation, are the end of all signs pertaining to the pilgrimage and fasting in the month of Ramadan. So that's number one. We are the end of that sign because the Kaaba in Mecca is only a sign. We are the fulfillment of that sign. So we are not under the Messenger. It's not no more a requirement because the sign has been fulfilled. So the Messenger taught us, he said, in this month of fasting, we shall keep our minds and hearts clean, and we shall not indulge in the eating of meats, land meats. You may eat fish and such fat products, which come from land animals such as butter and cheese. In this month, we shall keep our minds on Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. This is a picture that the messenger gave us of Master Farad Muhammad. Yes, sir. So he said this month we should keep our minds on Master Farad Muhammad. So he goes on to say, he says, in this month we shall keep our minds on Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, my God and your God, and my Savior and Deliverer, and your Savior and Deliverer, to whom be praise forever, for giving us life after our mental death for the past 400 years. He says, during this month, eat before day and after the sun goes down, if you wish, but not during the daylight hours. This also goes for drinking. Drink whatever you are going to drink, either before dawn or after dark. The eating before dawn is for those of us who love to eat breakfast in the mornings. But if you eat one meal a day, you may eat that meal either before dawn or after dark. It is best for your health's sake, however, to eat one meal after dark. Keep up prayer, and let us all be grateful to Allah for his coming in the person of Master Farad Muhammad throughout the month of December and every month. And during this month, let there be no quarreling or dispute in our homes or abroad. So that's the messenger teaching us about our month of Ramadan. This month of Ramadan, instead of the false worship of Jesus that we used to practice as Christians, now we keep our minds on Master Farad Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah. Because Master Farad Muhammad is our Savior and Deliverer. Yes, sir. So when we look at Master Farad Muhammad, the first thing that everybody pretends, some people it might be serious, but most people pretend to have a problem with, is Master Farad Muhammad's complexion. Master Farad Muhammad has a light complexion. So he looks white to some people, well, to most people. Or most people can use that excuse. Because we want to talk about the messenger. This is his November 9th, 1957 Pittsburgh Carrier. And it's called Jesus' History Misunderstood by the Christians. The messenger says the great misunderstanding over the Father and sonship, birth and death of Jesus is now being made understandable from the mouth of God in person, whose coming has brought light and truth to us who sit in darkness. So this Master Farad Muhammad is God in person. Yes, sir. That's who he is. He's just not some regular, ordinary person. Master Farad Muhammad is God in person. So the messenger goes on. He says, learn, my dear readers, that the prophesied Son of Man is Almighty God, and the Christ long looked for has come in the person of Master W.D. Farad Muhammad, as it is written, without observation or as a thief in the night. The work that I am doing in the midst of you bears witness of his presence. For by no means do I have power of myself to give life to the spiritually dead so-called Negroes, except it be from him. So once again, this is God in person. Yes, sir. This is the one that the whole world has been waiting for the past 2,000 years. That's right. But we have been in the hands of an enemy. Because the messenger taught us that the white race fixed the Bible for the black man. He made us to believe that there was a Savior born to save the world 2,000 years ago. So the messenger taught us that the white man put the truth under signs and symbols. Then he mixed truth with falsehood. So let's look at one of the symbols and signs that they put the coming of Master Farad Muhammad. This comes from 1 Thessalonians 5, 1 through 4. It says, "But the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." This is talking about the coming of Master Farad Muhammad. But it was put under signs and symbols. So they said that the coming of the Lord will be as a thief in the night. So let's go to another scripture. It said, this comes from Matthew 24, verse 36, and verse 42 through 43. It says, "But if that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. It says, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in which hour or what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. It says, the Lord of that servant shall come in the day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of." So this all is the sign and symbol of the coming of Master Farad Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
In this verse, or in this scripture, in Matthew 24, it says that if the good men knew that the thief was coming, but because this time it says that Master Farad Muhammad is coming as a thief. Why does it say that he's coming as a thief? Then it says that not only is he coming as a thief, but he's sneaking so that the people of the house will not know when he's coming. Because there's something in the house that the thief won't.
That's right.
The black man is in the house. Praise due to Allah. We are the lost sheep in the house of Israel.
That's right.
That's the house that it's talking about. America is the house of Israel.
Yes, sir.
So Master Farad Muhammad, God in person, came as a thief in the night. Now to further describe to us a thief in the night, we're going to talk real history. We're going to talk about my main man, Jay Rogers. Because I always like to make it plain. Because we got a lot of people who pretend like they think that Master Farad Muhammad is a white man. So we're going to use some history to show they ain't nothing but liars. Nobody that sees Master Farad Muhammad's picture, if they honest, will reject what the messenger taught us. Only people who reject that is those who intentionally try to mock and lie on the messenger. So we can use J. Rogers' book called Sex and Race. Let's go to page 372. It says, town's leading white citizen, a Negro. It says a singular case of a colored man who became the leading citizen of a town from which Negroes are barred, in that of George Stevens of Hartford City, Indiana. For 30 years, he lived in the city, leading hotel, and was chief mechanical and consulting engineer of the Fort Wayne Corrugate Paper Corporation, which has large plants in Hartford City, Venice, Indiana, and in Pennsylvania. Stevens was so highly thought of that he was made a director of the concern. A bachelor, he kept close to his hotel suite, but being a brilliant consultantist and versatile storyteller, he made many warm friends. He was also the town's leading philanthropist, giving away $50,000 or more to the various charities. At his death on May 2nd, 1940, the leading citizen turned out to mourn his death. Then they had the shock of their lives. The beloved and highly honored Stevens was a Negro. George's brother, Grant Stevens, together with George's niece and nephew of Akron, Ohio, all colored, appeared at the funeral. The dead man left $250,000 for educational and charitable purposes for his native city of Akron. Then he has at the bottom the footnote of the newspaper that this story was in. It was in the New York Daily News, May 30th, 1940, page 18, and he said Negro newspapers of that week. So it goes on to say, it says a similar case was of that of William Lee, rich Chicago publisher, none of whose white associates knew that he was colored until when his Negro relatives appeared at his funeral. And this footnote is Crisis Magazine, September 1930, page 45, 245. So in sex and race, because we just read about two, J. Rogers has a whole chapter of black people who was black but passed as white. Right. Nobody black has ever had a problem with all of the countless black people we knew in the black community that was black but passed as white. Yes, sir. Let's give another example. This brother right here, his name is Robert L. Van. It says brilliant attorney and founder of the Pittsburgh Carrier, largest Negro paper. This is in J. Rogers' book. This brother was a black man. But if you look at him, then you look at Master Farad Muhammad. They have similar features. So then we go to another person. This person, his name is Dr. Mordecai W. Johnson. He was the president of Howard University. Another black man looking like a white man that nobody had a problem with. Let's go to one of my favorites. Because this devil to me, I thought he was a devil. No, he not a devil. Let me see. This brother looked like a devil to me. I first saw him. His name is Walter F. White. He was in the NAACP. So the first time I saw him was before I read J. Rogers' book. I saw him with Roy Wilkins and another brother of the NAACP. Now I'm thinking, see, the NAACP, they some time. Look at all them devils in the NAACP. So then I read J. Rogers' book, and he got Mr. White in the book. And I was like, that's the person that I thought was the devil who actually a black man. I was like, wow, didn't know that. So this brother named Walter White, it was known that he was a black man. The NAACP used to use him because they used to have all of this anti-lynching. So they were seeing him in these white towns that just had lynchings and have him report on it because they thought he was a white man. This was his job as a black man, but everybody thought he was white. But those in the NAACP knew he was a black man. So let's go on about what they write about Mr. White.
This comes from the African American Registry. It says Walter F. White, NAACP leader, was born in July 1st, 1893. Right under his picture, it says Walter Francis White was born on this day in 1893. He was a black activist and administrator. So everybody knew that Walter White was a black man. He knew W.E.B. Du Bois. He knew Thurgood Marshall, Roy Wilk. Everybody knew that Mr. White was a white man. Nobody had a problem with him. Oh, was a black man. I'm sorry. Everybody knew that Mr. White was a black man. Didn't have a problem with him at all. But when the messenger told us that God came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, July 4th, 1930, now we got a problem with Master Farad Muhammad because we so black now. We so black. Look at, he looked like a white man. But when you was deaf, dumb, and blind, they love all of these people, as they say, who could pass. We had a lot of people who could pass. Right. So the messenger taught us. He said that Master Farad Muhammad was born February 26, 1877. He said that Master Farad Muhammad's father was a black man. Right. Solid black man. Yes, he said that Master Farad Muhammad's father knew that he would not be successful as a solid black man in a solid white country. Because the prophecy said that the Lord would come as a thief in the night. Yeah. So if Master Farad Muhammad, his father, was to come as a solid black man, talking the talk that Master Farad Muhammad was talking, then they would know there's something strange about that. First of all, when he came here, they would have their eye on him. Because the messenger taught us how the white man trails all those who teach the black man the truth. The white man was looking for the Mahdi, looking for the Messiah, because they knew that it was prophesied that he was coming. The messenger said they just didn't know when. So Master Farad Muhammad's father knew that he would not be successful as a solid black man in a solid white country. So the messenger said he went and chose for himself a white woman. Now, listening to the messenger teach the history of Master Farad Muhammad so much, you know that he's not trying to lie to us. You know that he's not trying to fib, because he told us this off the top. He told us the history of Master Farad Muhammad even when we all thought that was crazy and strange. The messenger taught us Master Farad, because nowadays, everybody pretend like they know that the black man is God. That's common knowledge. Kanye West, he running around talking about I'm God. You got Charlemagne the God talking about the black man is God. Everybody today act like they just always knew that the black man is God. This is what the messenger taught us back in the 30s. He told us that the black man is God. That's right. We could not understand how in the world can a man be God at that, then a black man. But the messenger, teaching us for 30 or 44 years, continued to teach us that the black man is God. Yes, sir. It took almost 30 plus years for us to finally kind of accept that. But we accepted it in a spooky way. God was like half man, half spirit. But the black man slowly began to accept the fact that the black man is God. So what the black man began to do, Around the 1960s, about 1968, the black man started to accept the teachings of the messenger. Because over time, the teachings that the messenger gave us didn't sound so strange anymore. Because at first we had never heard nothing like that before. But then over time, with the developments in history, the developments in science, what the messenger was saying didn't sound so strange at all. Right. So instead of us giving the messenger his credit by saying he's the messenger of God, we began to take his teachings and just add it to a whole bunch of nonsense. That's what the black man does. So Master Farad Muhammad today, he is called a white man. Not because the black man don't understand. It's because the black man is jealous. Yes. And that's one of the things the messenger taught us. Because this is our month of Ramadan that's coming up. Master Farad Muhammad is no secret anymore. Master Farad Muhammad is known. But Master Farad Muhammad is being made a mockery of. And the thing about these old coward Muslims, we feel like, we just not going to say nothing. We don't read the writings of the messenger. The messenger told us it's a penalty for making a mockery of Allah, his messenger, and his messages. Not only is it a penalty for the hypocrite, it's also a penalty for the believer. Because the messenger taught us that silence is consent. So when we hear that somebody is making a mockery of the messenger, his messages, or Allah, a Muslim is supposed to say so. Let's give an example. This is the messenger, February 12th, 1965. This is under the title called the Holy Quran. It says, warn them of the day that is ever drawing near, when the hearts will come right up to the throats to choke them. No intimate friend nor intercessor will the wrongdoers have who could have been listened to. So this comes from the Holy Quran 40, verse 18. The messenger says that which comes up to the throats and chokes them is the grief and regret that they are punished for refusal to obey the calling of Allah and the messenger, and for their mockery of the call of God and his messenger, and for their mockery of the message that the messenger brings. That's the penalty. That's the penalty for rejecting Allah and his messenger. So the messenger taught us, and he goes on. He says they were great with the pride of evil, under the world of evil. This made them feel that there were no powers that could chastise or punish them outside of the power of evil. But their regrets now have come, and therefore it grieves them. They are disappointed because they did not win a victory over Allah and the messenger and his followers. So right now, we the believers are catching pure natural hell, trying to keep the teachings and program of the messenger alive. Allah sees us. Yes. He sees all the hell we catch. Plus he sees all those who make a mock of Allah, his messenger, and his message. Yes, sir. And there is a penalty for that. Yes, sir. So let's go on. The messenger quotes another verse. It says, Allah knows of the tricks that deceive with the eyes, and all that hearts of men conceal. The messenger says this verse refers to the time of the resurrection and judgment of the world, to the signs and actions of both the righteous and the wicked, so that we may know them. Such actions of the eyes and the hearts determine whether the person involved is trying to trick you in what he says. He seeks to deceive you, but he does not want you to know it. His eyes expresses and words will expose him. They are deprived of the true friendship that they thought they would have. They would have none to intercede for them. This is for his evilness and rejection of the truth. Let's show an example of that. We got this hypocrite. He's sitting here making a mockery of the teachings of the message.
Yes, he is.
He holding Flager's hand when he know for an absolute fact that he wrong.
Yes.
So how the messenger say we'll know he wrong? Look at his face and look at his eyes. When you look at this hypocrite, he got a smile on his face. But when you look at his eyes, he catching hell.
Yes.
This hypocrite hates Allah and the messenger.
Yes, he does.
So what he's trying to do? He's trying to take as many of us to hell with him.
Yes.
So his nature is fighting against him. Because I heard this hypocrite one time talk about a black man who turns hypocrite. He said, when you accept the truth, he said, our nature is to accept the truth and submit to the truth. That's the nature of the black man. He said, but when you turn hypocrite, you now are fighting against the truth that you know is the truth. So he said, you are fighting against your own nature. That's him. This hypocrite know he wrong.
Yes.
This hypocrite knows what the messenger taught. So while he's sitting there smiling, his eyes is showing he fighting against his own nature. This is what the messenger taught us. He said it's a penalty for you to make a mockery of Allah, his messenger, and his message. So the messenger, when you read in the Muhammad Speaks, he talk about hypocrites all the time.
Yes.
He make it crystal clear for us the penalty for turning hypocrite. So let's go on even further. The messenger says, he says, since Allah will judge with justice and truth, the unjust, whether in man or in that which they try to fight with to oppose truth, will find themselves helpless in their endeavors, because Allah sees and hears things. This is another. It says, one day will the hypocrites, men and women, say to the believers, wait for us, let us borrow a light for your light. It will be said, turn ye back to your rear, then seek a light where ye can. So a wall will be put up betwixt them with a gate therein. Within it will be married thereout and without it. All alongside will be wrath and punishment. That's Holy Quran 57 and 13. Now what does that mean? The messenger says, the description from this verse that a day will come when the hypocrites will submit to the believers for help against their evil and ignorant acts in rejecting the truth and refusing to follow the messenger and his followers, means that they wished they had some of the faith that the believers had, so that they could share in the blessings and protection of Allah. He says the wheel that has a gate in it, or the wall that has a gate in it, is the law, which is now like a wall of righteousness and justice. And the messenger is made the gateway for them to go there through to Allah. They now find it very hard to come by the messenger whom they had rejected, mocked, criticized, called a liar, and proclaimed that he was not the messenger of Allah. They must now accept him or be destroyed. Along on the outside means those who are out of the wall of divine protection, who suffer divine punishment and chastisement. So the messenger said, one day these hypocrites, they gonna come to the believers. In the verse it said they gonna want some of our light. But the messenger said that means some of our faith. Because the messenger said Allah sees and hears. He see the hell we catch. He see the hell we catch trying to keep his teachings and program alive. Yes. He know what we do. Because we going to talk about it. No, I couldn't leave them out. They making a mockery of Allah, his messenger, and his messages. Yes. So we the believers trying to fight back. But you got these coward Muslims who sit back and don't say nothing. Because the messenger said, he says silence is consent. Silence when you see a person doing something and you don't say nothing. Because that's what the messenger said hypocrites do. They try to hide their support by not saying nothing. Mm-hmm. Because if they say something, it will expose what they really believe. Mm-hmm. So one day, all of these coward Muslims who sit around, because the messenger said they gonna pay for what they doing too. Bust out Bishop Nathaniel gonna pay. The coward chicken-hearted Muslims that don't say nothing gonna pay. Plus the hypocrites. Yes, sir. Because the messenger taught us. He said it's better for you to not know Islam than to know Islam and play with it. That's right. So this is our holy month of Ramadan. The month where we keep our minds on Master Farad Muhammad. Yes, sir. Because when the messenger taught us about Master Farad Muhammad, he told us that he was God in person. People act like, oh, Master Farad Muhammad, he a white man. But then you go around, this was shared 2 days ago. It says the black man is God. This is what you call making a mockery. Yes. It's a penalty for that. Not only for them, but for the Muslims who sit around and watch. Because Allah sees. And he told the believers our reward. One day, when their throats come up or their stomachs come up to their throat, choking them with grief, they gonna come to the believers who they was laughing at. Because when this hypocrite, Lewis, every time when you share a video talking about this hypocrite, the one thing his followers will say, they say, we can listen to your lectures and tell ain't nobody in there. You can't attract nobody. But he talked to 2 million or called 1 million men and 2 million showed up. That's what they like to say to the believers. But the messenger said, one day, when their stomachs come up to their throat, choking them with grief, they gonna come to the believers in which they had our faith, asking us, give me some of your faith. Yes, sir. But it's gonna be a wall separating us from them. We gonna remember. Like the like the messenger said, when Malcolm turned hypocrite on him, he said if Malcolm X is the last of the 20 million. He said, I'm going to remind him of all the evil he gave to me for all the good I did for him. That's how we going to remember.
That's right.
We going to remember all of these old coward Muslims who sit around and allow Master Farad Muhammad to be picked on, to be lied on, to be made a mockery of. We going to remember.
Yes, sir.
We going to remember all them coward Muslims who make fun of us because we still fast in the month of December. We still trying to keep the teachers and program of the messenger alive.
Yes, sir.
His few faithful followers.
That's right.
But the messenger said, hold on to Islam.
Yes, he did.
He said, I don't promise you no smooth going.
We said.
He said, but I can promise you one thing. You will be the winner. Because I try hard
Yes, sir.
not to talk about these Israelites. I do. Me and my wife talk about it every week. I say, I ain't going to talk about them Israelites. Then I come in 5 minutes, but I found something else. Then I say, but I ain't going to talk about them this week. I go back and forth all day because I know, just like this week, this is what I really wanted to talk about. These fakes, which I'm going to elaborate more on. These fakes went to Barclay Arena last week, talking about they Muhammad's army. Once again, making a mockery of the messenger.
Yes.
Because the messenger asked us the question, what is the meaning of FOI? Fruit of Islam. The name given to the military training of the men that belong to Islam in North America. That's us. But stop Bishop Nathan. With all these punk coward Muslims that with Louis Farrakhan that's just sitting around making the black man think they are the army of God. So they came to the Barclay, surrounded the arena, acting like they protecting the brother Kyrie. So what I did is I looked at Kyrie. Kyrie is a Muslim. These bus-stop Bible babblers hate Muslims. They talk against Muslims. They make a mockery of God. They make a mockery of Allah and his messengers. But they using this brother to outshine the messenger. They using this brother to make a mockery of Allah. Because this picture that they have is a picture that they use now every week. Everywhere you see Israelites, they have a picture of the Savior. Everywhere you see them, they talking about the black man as God. Now the messenger taught us that God came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, July 4th, 1930. And he is the long-awaited Savior. He is the one who raised up a messenger to teaching God 50 million black people. And the messenger said, he said, I will make the truth so plain that even a fool can't have it. Because he told us that it's only going to be 144,000.
Yes.
I used to listen to some Muslims when they used to talk about the messenger, when he used to tell them about the Nation of Islam falling. It was Brother Ahmad. He said the messenger used to say with tears in his eyes,
Yes.
they gonna give all this up. So Brother Ahmad and I heard Jeremiah used to ask, how we gonna lose all of this? How are we going to lose all of this? And he used to tell them, one day you might be the only one coming to the temple.
Yeah.
That's what the messenger said. The messenger said, my few faithful followers.
Yes.
He said, hold on to Islam. He said, Islam won't let you go. You have to let it go.
Yes.
So the messenger taught us the penalty for rejecting his message. He said that God came to push the white race alive in the lake of fire. Not to kill the white man and push him in the fire dead. He came to push him alive in the lake of fire. Not only him, but all those black people who reject Allah and his message.
That's right.
So that's why the messenger also taught us. He said, what is the duty of the civilized person? The duty of the civilized person is to teach civilization to the uncivilized.
That's right.
Then he goes on to say, what if the civilized person fails to do his duty? Because it's a penalty for us as believers, because we took it off. Because this is our month of Ramadan. When we think about Master Farad Muhammad, we're thinking about God in person.
Yes, sir.
We're thinking about that God who is the wisest of them all. Messenger said there never was a God like him. And when you keep your mind on Master Farad Muhammad, go read them articles on the Muhammad Speaks website when Master Farad Muhammad was writing letters to the messenger. Go read the messenger tell us that Master Farad Muhammad was so for real. The messenger said that Master Farad Muhammad told him, if he misplaced one letter that the lost found sent in, his letter mean when you write your Savior's letter. The messenger didn't say, he said if you lost it. He said if you misplaced one. He said Master Farad Muhammad told him, I will burn you and your whole family. That's what the messenger said Master Farad Muhammad told him. He the messenger. But he told the messenger, if you misplace one of them, I'll burn you and family ain't even do nothing. But I'll burn you and them. That was Master Farad Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
They do to Allah. Because we take him for a joke. Just like the messenger said. You think not because you getting away. Ain't no power nowhere that can punish you. Just like Bishop Nathaniel and these fakes. They think ain't nothing can happen to them while they making a mockery of Allah and his messenger. They just like how Goliath was. Goliath was so used to making a mockery that he didn't know nothing about David. Just like they don't know. They don't know it's Muslims all over this country listening to you. All of us ain't with that hypocrite Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
Some of us are believers.
That's right.
Listening to you make a mockery of our God, our messenger, and his messages. Just like with David. David used to come in there feeling mad about their present situation as we do. Looking like, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that all y'all shaking in your boots about? I feel that way. Who is Bishop Nathaniel? Why ain't nobody saying nothing to him? I was watching because I was going to make a lecture about this Barclay stuff. Talking about you are. They ain't nothing but a bunch of cowards. You want to hear about an army? Go read about the Italian mafia. When Muhammad Ali changed his name to Cassius Clay. When he changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. It was a mafia hitman. His name was Frankie Carbano. He was over Sonny Liston. Him and the mafia used to terrorize promoters, managers, and trainers. Not only would they fix fights, but they would take the money from the boxers. So when Muhammad Ali joined the Nation of Islam, read the articles, because his name was Frankie Carbano. He was a hit man for 20 years for the mafia. They said when the FOI started to guard Muhammad Ali, they told the mafia, you need to back up off of Muhammad Ali.
Yes, sir.
They said that Muhammad Ali was the first boxer in history that the mafia had zero control over. That's God's army.
Yes.
That was the message. Not only that, Muhammad Ali with John Muhammad, or with John Ali and Herbert Muhammad, came up with Main Bout Inc. This was him controlling all of his money. Because when the messenger and the Muslims, which we don't never talk about the messenger's history, the messenger changed all of boxing. For the first time when Muhammad Ali set up Main Bout, that was the first time that a black man controlled all of his money from the Italian mafia. So this encouraged all other boxers to begin to control their own money. That's God's army.
Yes, sir.
This was the message. But when you look at these cowardly fake Israelites, Brother Kyrie still had to apologize. The white man suspended Kyrie for 8 games with no pay. Because Kyrie told them, Kyrie made the fatal mistake. He believed that them Israelites was army. So when the white man was giving him a chance, Kyrie told the white man, I ain't backing down. I'm not backing down for what I believe. He said, because I have a whole army around me. That's when Bus Stop Bishop Nathaniel and the rest of these fakes started making videos talking about they the army that's backing up Kyrie. So the white man said, okay, nigga, we gonna show you an army. We gonna suspend you for 8 games without pay until you apologize. So after about 8 games, Kyrie's army wasn't doing nothing for him. So he decided to apologize. The white man told him, no, nigga, that ain't good enough. Where was Kyrie's army at? Nowhere to be found. So then them devils gave Kyrie a list of 6 things he had to do before he became back in good standing with them. So right before the game, when all them cowardly chicken-hearted Israelites was outside talking about God's army, the white man looked at Kyrie. He said, your supporters is outside. They got on their shirts, Israel United in Christ. What you got to say about them, nigga? He said, I want to focus on the game. That was his army. His army was out there showboating and grandstanding, taking pictures for the camera, being interviewed by the news, while the same white man who was harassing Kyrie was harassing him on the inside, telling him you gonna be our good little nigga or what? Wasn't like that with Muhammad Ali. When Muhammad Ali had that fight with him, he was standing in the ring, say his prayers. They would have on the front page of the Muhammad Speaks, Allah is the greatest.
That's right.
Muhammad Ali would walk in with his robe on saying, Muhammad Ali, in front of all them mobsters, controlling all this money with FOI, God's army, standing right there with him.
Yes, sir.
That's why I feel like David. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine?
Yes, sir.
So where ain't nobody saying nothing to him. The messenger had the most notorious white men afraid of the FOI. Because Muhammad Ali is not the first Muslim who had a run-in with the mafia. Look up Matthew Shoemaker in Newark, New Jersey. He had a run-in with Carlo Gambino. Look up the brothers in New York. In my clothes, The devil that was in temple number 7. When them brothers had a fight with the New York Police Department. One of these devils, they interviewed him a few months ago. He was inside of the mosque. They say this devil still have nightmares. Yes, he said he don't even talk about it. They said this the first time he talked about it in 50 years. I'm going to bring it in. When they was interviewing this devil, his eyes was budding up with waters with tears in his eyes. Still remembering 50 years ago when God's army. Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I leave you as I came in the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent and merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, the alone do we serve, and the alone beseech for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he Allah is one God, Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is ever to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.